In an age of callouts, culture wars, and perfect facades, people can be afraid to express how they really feel. So we brought together 7 strangers, protected their identities, and asked them all 7 burning audience questions. What will be revealed when we take the mask off?
If the answer is yes, you will flip on your light. I watch porn.
Yeah, I do. I don't think I've ever talked about it with anyone because it's it's not just something you casually bring up oh yeah, see that one thing? Yeah, me too. I don't really talk about it, but I started talking about it during quarantine. Me and my friends, it was day 5,000 of quarantine, and we were like, do you guys watch porn? And then we all just said, yeah, and we're all girls. It's just we might never see daylight again. Might as well tell each other our deepest, darkest secrets. Yeah, we watch porn. And since I'm in a relationship, I don't really watch it that much now. I mean, when I do watch it, it's just for educational purposes.
I'm gonna bring everyone else in the conversation now.
I feel like the whole concept of it is kind of corrupt, and it's kind of objectifying women. If men go to, or women go to the site and they're just seeing pornography, it's kind of this idea that women are just objects because it's for the male pleasure. I don't even see it as an educational purpose because it doesn't show what sex should really mean.
Back in high school, it would be so annoying because anytime I would want to wear nerd glasses for my style, I would be called Mia Khalifa all the time. It's just ridiculous. Not every girl with brown hair or brown skin looks like Mia Khalifa. It doesn't make any sense.
Do you think that hairy bodies are attractive?
Personally, me, I'm not really paying attention to the body. I'm paying attention more to the person. And if you make me laugh, then that's really all I need. When I was a kid, I saw this ad for hair removal, and I saw this girl take off her hair on her arm, and I was like, no, it looks so pretty. I thought it was really pretty. And then growing up, I realized, oh, maybe it's not an attractive thing to society. So I started shaving it, and I guess now I'm going back to what I originally thought when I was a kid.
For me, I find it more cleanliness, to be clean and I guess have just no hair on your arms. It's not really a social thing, because someone else is doing it, I'm doing it. It's more of a personal thing.
To the cleanliness thing, I can say this because also person of color, also that is something that was pushed onto me as a Latina, oh, you have to be perfect and you have to look this way because how else will men want you? Soap still exists. Hair doesn't stop soap from cleaning you in any way, and if it grows on you, then that's natural. And also hair grows in specific places to keep it clean. Your vagina and stuff down there, the hair grows down there to help keep it clean and to keep stuff out of it. Having hair doesn't mean you're not clean. It just means you gotta clean it.
I don't like the way I look.
Well, I've been getting better at it, learning to accept my body, body neutrality, not positivity, body neutrality. Ever since I was a young girl, I've always been on the chubbier side. I've recently been diagnosed with PCOS, which basically makes it I have more testosterone in my body than what is the normal amount for females or women. In the past year or so, I've been doing a lot better and learning to accept myself, but I still I'm not there yet. I looked up to usually white girls. That's kind of even now, that's who usually get the hype on TikTok. And even on TV, I never really saw anyone who looked like me. I don't want to be white now, but I'm oh, I wonder what it would be like if I was white.
For me, I have a birthmark on my face, and so that used to be a really big insecurity. I remember people would make fun of me when I was little, and so my mom used to tell me don't feel like that because you're so much more than just a beauty mark or a birthmark. I'm beautiful just like everybody else, and I have to accept the fact that we're not the same. Body changes, and that's just the way of life. You can't really outrun yourself. If you're gonna be stuck with your body and your face and everything about yourself, then you might as well love it.
I agree with you.
That's a really good mindset.
That's a really good
Probably try to implement
like
that
that's
more.
the goal.
Do your parents treat you differently because of your gender?
I mentioned earlier, like, I come from a Hispanic household, Latino household. So that means if you are a woman, you are automatically a housemaid and a cook. My brother is not like a grown man, but he is in his 20s, 22. I'm only 17, and I get tossed a lot more of the housework ever since I was a child, but also emotional labor, where my mom has literally told me if something ever happens to her, then I have to help my stepdad take care of the house, not my 22-year-old brother. Me, the 17-year-old girl, when she told me the first time I was only 15, having this burden of having to take care of my home at such a young age was something that my brother has never had to face, at least not to the extent that I do.
I'm so sorry that you feel that way.
Can I actually turn my one on? Okay. I don't think my parents do it intentionally, and I don't think any of my family does it intentionally, but when you said that all the girls clean at your family gatherings, that has really happened a lot. So whenever we're cleaning up, even if it's like Mother's Day, the women still plan it, they clean everything, and it's just kind of like an unspoken rule.
I'm Hispanic as well, so there's definitely like the machismo in the culture, but in my family, we're just all girls except my dad. So we all like grew up like sharing roles. I never felt like a difference between my cousins that are males, because they also go to work and then they share like all the roles. So my parents like always instilled my dad washes dishes, my mom does too. So it was like always balanced out, and it never felt different.
I also grew up in a Hispanic household, and I could see the clear difference in how they treat the boys versus the girls, because every time there was a rape allegation, it was always, yeah, it's because she wore this. It was never, why did he do this? Why, like, they never questioned him. It was always, well, what does she do? So, you know, growing up, I always felt an intense pressure on me to cover up and stay quiet about, you know, what happened to me with my sexual assault case, because, you know, I felt like they were going to blame me for it, even though I was 7 years old. I'm so sorry.
I'm really
sorry
sorry.
that happened.
Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
Yeah, I definitely have. It was my last relationship. There was a lot of things he did that were just super disrespectful to me, and I didn't deserve it. And then when he's a grade above me, so when he went off to college, you know, he cheated on me.
My last relationship led me and my mother to argue a lot. And now looking back on it, I should have like listened to her. She was right.
Me too.
She was so right.
My dad, from the beginning, he was like, I don't like him. And I was like, what do you mean? No,
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
right.
It was like that. And I was like, no, you're wrong. You don't know them yet.
I was in a friend circle with some girls in high school. I didn't know that they were talking smack about me behind my back. They were telling the school that I was a slut, a prostitute, but I guess, like you said, it's like the teenage girl drama.
As toxic as mine was, I'm kind of glad that I had it, because now I know exactly what to not look for. Even though it was toxic, I'm in a weird way thankful for it, so I don't have to experience it when I'm a full-on adult, because we were like 17, 16, so yeah.
Gender equality is possible in my lifetime. And that's no one.
They're planning to take down Roe v. Wade. We haven't even had that for what is it? Not even a century. It seems like we're just going backwards, and who knows, because taking away Roe v. Wade is taking away the right to privacy, which can also go into things like right to privacy, which is the basis of the case for allowing gay people to get married, or even interracial marriages. All of those Supreme Court cases were based on privacy. Right now, it's a very scary time to just exist as anyone, as any version of someone who has been oppressed. So I just don't think it's possible in the next lifetime. Personally, as a woman, as a Latina woman, if I have kids in the future, I will treat them all equally. And I know that's hard outside the world because there are norms, but I will teach my kids, you can be anything and anyone as long as you put your mind to it. I want to break, gendered stereotypes.
If we want to spark change, it's our responsibility just because we are the upcoming generation and we will be the next legislators and like Supreme Court justices. And I think we really do want to see any sort of change. Like we do have, it's our responsibility, whether we like it or not.
I can't be honest about who I am.
When I was in middle school, being Muslim, I was really afraid to tell people I was Muslim because a lot of people would make terrorist jokes all the time, and I would get really embarrassed when my mom would pick me up and my grandma, who wears a hijab, would be sitting in the passenger seat, and then everybody would look at them and be like, "Oh, you're Muslim?" I can't believe I thought that way, the things I would do to go back to that and see my grandma again. But sometimes I feel like I want to wear a headscarf outside, but I get scared that I'll get something thrown at me, and I don't know, it's a fear of mine. And I know a lot of people, they don't experience that, but I also know some that do. I've been battling with mental illness. I am diagnosed with OCD, PTSD, anxiety, and I might get tested for being bipolar. Growing up, I experienced 2 murders. I've experienced sexual assault. I grew up in South Los Angeles, which is a violent neighborhood, so I've seen a lot of dark shit. And I was sexually assaulted by my own uncle, and my family, they're right now trying to understand me, but they were, in denial, and a lot of my traumas really affected me. I would say OCD really has affected me because it affects my relationships, because a lot of people judge me when I tell them I have OCD. And one major thing that people don't understand about me is I find it gross if you had previous partners. And a lot of people think it's because I'm misogynistic. I don't know what's the word, but it's not that. I've talked to my psychiatrist about this, and she told me that it's the fear of contamination. I'm battling these inner, my disease or whatever you want to call it, but it's tiring living with OCD. It's just super damn hard.
Honestly, all of high school, I have been happy with who I am. I met my girlfriend. She also told me after I fell in love with her and everything, she told me that her family is really homophobic, but then she breaks the news they're homophobic to the point where I can't even surround myself with gay people. I love my girlfriend so much and I want to be around her. I literally had to go back into the closet. That's a really big shift for me because I'm out in 7th grade, and then senior year of high school, I'm shoved back in. And I know I should remove myself from this, but I really can't because I'm dating her and not her family. It just sucks hearing all that stuff, especially because my brother's trans and all of my siblings are literally part of the LGBTQ community. I know the easiest way is to break up with her, but she did nothing wrong. She's unlearning everything they taught her. I even went to her church and they talk about gay people too, and it's just sad. And I just think of her going through it alone, and she has to hear that too. It's not just me taking the hit, it's also her.
I'm sorry.
I love talking about different issues, especially since we're all around the same age. I thought it was really cool. I've never got to experience something like this.
I enjoyed it, feeling like we could talk about anything and everything without fear of repercussion.
I think it was good to hear everyone else's opinions, to realize that we're not as different as we think we are. We have a lot in common, and I think that's really comforting. So I'm really glad to learn that people have the same ideas as me.